We're back here. Jitesh and myself, Dougal's gone home for round 6.
Yeah, we have two interstate players outside of Brisbane. We have Tim Evers from all the way from
Canberra. He's
Canberra,
a
yeah,
boy.
the national capital of Australia. Quite a long trek to make it here,
Yeah,
and
halfway between Sydney and Melbourne because they couldn't decide which one of them should be capital.
yes, he's on the left here. He's on
He's on the right.
sorry, yeah,
He's
on the right.
Remember, if you make the thing with your hand, and the one that looks like an L, that's the left.
Yes.
Yep, there you go. On the left, we have a guy named Mark Gwyther or Gwither.
Sorry for mispronouncing your name.
Well, I just said it twice, so I guarantee I did it at least once. So he's on what looks like a fairly traditional bug delver list, unlike Rick's list from a couple of rounds ago. This guy's running your traditional delver. That's the wrong deck list.
He's running
we're professionals here. So Delver, 4 Deathrite Shaman, Tomb Stalker, and TNN, as opposed to Leovold or anything like that.
Yeah, so the very Molimujo-esque bug delver list. Molimujo being the famous MTGO Magic Online player for bug delver.
Yeah, and it's a deck that I love as well.
Yeah,
it's fallen out of favour a bit recently. I'm playing Grixis at the moment.
Yeah, I think Grixis is well positioned now. However, bug traditionally has been very strong, and it certainly has its pros.
And Tim on the right, we have
Tim is on.
There's a blue-red list. It's a bit of a spicy one though. It's a little bit more controlling than you're used to seeing out of UR Delver.
Yeah. So it's unlike the very aggressive Delver decks that have Delvers and Swift Spears and other cards, etc. It's sort of a mash between that and a control list.
It's blue-red mid-range Delver. It's weird. This is the deck that knocked me out of top 8 at the Legacy event down at Nationals. So he's running your traditional... Actually, it feels like blue-red control Splash Delver.
Splash Delver, but he also is running some number of Price of Progress.
He's running 2 Price of Progress. Into the Roil is in there?
Yeah, there's a few spicy one-offs. There's an Into the Roil.
There's an Into the Roil is in a Braid in the main board. There's
a Braid main board.
I love Fire
two Grim Lavamences main.
Wow, this is a...
4 Snapcasters, a number of True Names, and Jaces. So it's not quite your aggressive Delver strategy. However, it's not quite an all-out control deck with Delvers and True Names in there as well.
Well, it's a bit of an interesting one. What do you reckon will happen here?
I think having the stable mana base and Wastelands and Price to Progress, my money's on Tim.
All right.
And I also notice 2 main deck Flusterstorms, which is very interesting and which I like a lot.
Yeah, I like the main board Flusterstorms. Well, now I'm going to have to agree with you there. I think that the blue-red Delver has the better matchup here.
However, if Bug Delver can land a Tarmogoyf, that's very hard for blue-red decks to deal with.
A big enough Tarmogoyf is going to be hard to deal with, but he can definitely stall his progress enough to win.
Correct.
Well, let's see what happens, eh?
Yeah, let's get to it. So we see a 7 here from Tim on the right. There's a Volcanic, an Island, a Brainstorm, and some other cards which I didn't quite get. On the left here we have Wasteland, Bolt, Volcanic, Force of Will, Brainstorm.
It's a greedy hand, but I don't mind it. Looks like it was a keep anyway, and Tim was on the play. Opening Delver. Is there a Brainstorm in that? Yeah, there is. So we've got a guaranteed flip. But is he going to take it or is he going to gamble? He's going to gamble! And we don't get there.
Unfortunately.
What did he pick up? Looks like a...
Lightning Bolt? No,
he had Deathrite Shaman?
Deathrite Shaman, correct.
Now, we're almost definitely going to see a Brainstorm next turn.
Yes, you'd expect it.
So Brainstorm to put the Lightning Bolt on top?
Yeah.
And then also shuffle away that other card.
Correct. So we see a Wasteland here. Not looking that great up against a Flooded Strand and a basic island. Tim's just passed his first couple of turns, so his opponent must be wondering what does he have in hand? What should I be playing around? Yeah.
Is that a Flooded Strand? I do not like that Expedition art.
No, I'm not a fan of the Expeditions. Ooh. His opponent almost shuffled his hand into his deck.
Okay.
A very clse call there, and I believe a judge was warned.
Yeah, a judge call happened here, and we are going to go ahead and cut away for that one because this one took a while to resolve, I believe.
Okay, well, see you guys soon. Looks like we're back from our judge call. I believe some warnings were issued, however, no corrective actions were needed, as his hand was kept separate from the shuffling.
Because he didn't actually shuffle the cards away, they were able to determine how many cards he should have in hand based on the plays that took place so far.
And I think both players agreed that he hadn't shuffled any cards in.
Yep.
So
and we can verify that now as well.
Yeah.
But
So
it works out that Mark's actually on a 4-color Delver list.
yes,
Whoops.
the volcanic island gives that away. We didn't quite look at the deck list.
So I was reading through his deck list before we did this match, and if you read through the list until you get to the very last non-land card, which is 4 Lightning Bolts, it looks like a very traditional Bug Delver list.
Yeah.
It's basically Bug Delver minus 4
minus 4
Hindatorak,
hands and
plus 4 Lightning Bolt and a slight change to the mana base to 2 Volcanics.
and a few. There's
sideboard
some Pyroblast in the sideboard.
Pyroblast and the Brave in the sideboard, but yeah, I'll wear the blame for that one. It's actually 4-color Delver.
But interestingly, Tim passes back again on his third turn. So he's taken a little bit of damage here. And still has not cast a spell this turn.
Yeah,
He makes his 4th land drop. So we see a Delver.
Scalding Time?
Yeah, a Scalding Tarn along with the Strand. We see a Delver, Snapcaster Mage in hand, and an Into the Roil.
Into the Roil. Jeez, that's
spicy one-off.
Spicy. Is that from Karnza?
Sorry?
Is that from Karnza? No, that's from
No,
Return to Ravnica block. It's got.
It's older, I believe. I think, is it from the World Wake block?
Oh, you're right. It's Zendikar.
Hmm.
That's it. With the one with Kicker. I'm thinking of one of the ones with Overload. But yeah, Into the Roil. Return target non-land permanent if it was kicked to draw a card. That's interesting.
It is very interesting. So we see another Delver from Mark there, and the passing of the turn. I'd imagine we'll be seeing a kicked Into the Roil here on either Deathrite or the Flip Delver, likely.
Yeah, the Delver.
So we've got to read it here.
That one. So I certainly.
I must say I've never seen this card played in Legacy before.
I've never seen this card played before. And I played in Zendikar.
It was
Briefly.
It was in that original Duels of the Planeswalkers that I played that got me back into Magic. That card was quite common.
Yeah, it's not a bad piece.
Mm.
And that's it's got to feel bad. 4 basics though to get around that wasteland.
Mm.
I've got some birds going on outside and the cats are freaking out.
So we have we've got 3 threats on Mark's side, and 2 Delvers come down for Tim here. However, he still doesn't have any removal for those threats. So they'll make quick work of his life total.
I will.
Mark debating whether he wants to Force of Will the 2nd Delver of Secrets.
And throwing out his Brainstorm to do so as well.
Which is surprising that
we can't guarantee those 2 Delver flips. I would have possibly pitched the Ponder there.
Possibly, yeah. And I think in general...
it does leave him Brainstorm locked unless he hits a fetch, but...
Yeah.
Getting that clock out is definitely worthwhile.
It is. And Brainstorm has and Brainstorm has the potential to be a much bigger threat than... not a threat, a much better card.
Oh, it feels bad. That's an Underground Sea on top.
Yeah.
And if he had the Brainstorm, he'd be able to take the blind flip first.
Yes, on one of them.
Yeah.
Cast the Brainstorm and then reveal the Force of Will.
Feels bad.
However, there's a Ponder to set up future flips.
Unless he wants to shuffle that, and it's a Days of Brainstorm and a Wasteland.
Yeah, so he probably doesn't want the Wasteland or even the Days.
Yeah.
The Brainstorm is a good card, but is it worth keeping the other 2 bad cards?
Absolutely not. No, shuffle that right
I don't think so. However, he does hold on to that Brainstorm. And he goes in for 2 here.
Ooh.
We'll see a Snapcaster Mage not flashing back anything.
Yeah,
but
all
looking to
good.
trade for a Delver.
Yeah, it seems good.
That is Force of Will.
Yeah, seems alright.
And Tim goes down, I believe, to 13 here.
Yeah.
And it'll be down to 11 after the death run. Still looking for that piece of removal for these creatures. I believe he has another Snapcaster Mage in hand, a Volcanic Island, and another Delver Secrets. So that Volcanic will give Mark's Wasteland a target. However, he doesn't have anything to flashback with the Snapcaster Mage yet, and both Delver Secrets will be flipping next turn, because we know there's a Daze on top of the library. So interesting thing here that Mark kept the Brainstorm in hand rather than the Daze, because if his intent was wanting to Force of Will something, I would have thought Force pitching the Daze might have been better. Or, alternatively, he could have just cast the Brainstorm to hit the Daze. To get the Daze into his hand and then pitch the Daze to Force of Will. He would have had to find instant or sorcery below that, however, if he wanted to flip his Delver. But on the upkeep here, we see Snapcaster Mage hitting the end of the turn. We saw in response to the Deathrite Shaman activation, a Snapcaster Mage hitting into the Roil, getting the Delver back to Mark's hand. But the other Delver flips and gets in for 3. Interestingly, Mark does not cast his other Delver. And we see finally a removal spell from Tim here. A Lightning Bolt on the Deathrite.
Don't like that art. It's popular, I don't like it though.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
I don't like the Texas cards in general. But
I like some of them.
Lightning Bolt is a fairly simple one. It's a good candidate,
It is.
but I remember Cryptic Command.
That's just horrible.
It was just a horrible choice.
Nice a card with that much text should not be a Texas card.
No.
But we see that both 2 removal spells, a Braid for the Deathrite, a Braid for the Delver, a Lightning Bolt for the Deathrite.
Jeez, a Braid's come out of nowhere, hasn't it?
It has. We saw a lot of it in Vintage.
Such a good Vintage card. Because in that sort of format, you need everything to be versatile. I mean, for the sake of an extra mana, being able to pop an artifact instead of doing 3 damage, absolutely worth it. That's a flip.
Yeah, so we see Delver flipping to Brainstorm. So Mark is just left with a Daze in hand and a Delver in play.
And the Brainstorm cast.
Whereas Tim gets to cast a Brainstorm, have a flip Delver in play. He finds another Delver, and he also has a Snapcaster Mage in play. So Tim well ahead here.
And with that Brainstorm, he's able to cast that second Delver as well.
Correct. You're able to cast and flip and still have a removal spell for any other threat.
Oh, wow.
So Tim well ahead here.
This looks like Tim's game.
Yeah. Well-timed Fatal Push drawn by Mark gets rid of one of the Delvers. However, he's still taking 5 damage at turn and drawing off the top of his deck. And up against a Force of Will. So I think this match is locked up for Tim here. Gets in for 5. Mark's down to 5, I believe, so should be lethal next turn.
Yep.
He has the Daze for a Force of Will.
That's game.
But which he elects not to cast.
Yep.
But I think he just saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
And realized that there wasn't coming back from that.
What these guys get to sideboarding.
Yeah, so sideboarding, as we mentioned earlier, Mark has a couple of Pyroblasts.
A couple of Pyroblast and a couple of a Braid again.
A couple of Braids, Snapcaster Mages, Thought Seizers, Surgicals, a Grafdigger's Cage, Dread of Night, Fogbolt, and I believe that's what the last card was.
What was that you didn't say?
Flusterstorm.
Flusties. Yep.
Okay. So it looks like he brought in the Flusterstorms, the Snapcaster Mages, and the Abrades.
Would you bring in the Abrade here?
No, sorry. So it looks like, the Fork Bolt, the
Pyro,
Surgicals.
surgical, forked bolt.
I'm not sold on the Surgicals here.
What are you going to surgical? That's the thing.
I'm guessing it's just for Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah?
Based on what we've seen game 1, and I don't like Surgical against Snapcaster Mage.
It forces you into making bad choices with the surgicals.
Yes.
I'd rather do it surgically, exactly as the card says, to pick out their threats.
Exactly. So I'm not a fan of that. However, Pyroblasts are pretty good against the mostly blue deck.
Pyroblast is amazing here.
Pyroblast is great. And Flusters are good for winning the counter wars.
Which you're going to be having as a lot of counter magic in Tim's deck.
And
I would almost be going the other direction, actually, to start to take out some counter magic. You're going to lose that counter war.
Yeah. I'd be taking like Force of Wills, I'd be taking out some number of Daisies, maybe. Flusters are good. They're essentially hard counters in many spots. But yeah, I'm really not a fan of the Surgicals. But the Snaps, the Pyroblasts, I think are quite easy.
Yeah, definitely easy inclusions.
And Fork Bolt is nice bit of removal. Kills most of the threats, Delvers and Lava Mancers, etc. But yeah, the Surgicals do come in, and we saw a number of Daces and Force of Wills getting boarded out.
Alright.
So I like boarding out all the forces. On the play, I don't mind keeping a few Daces in.
Yeah, it's definitely better on the play.
Yeah. On Tim's side, we have more Pyroblasts
We have
in his sideboard.
2 surgical extraction, 2 invasive surgery from the from Eldritch Moon, I believe that was.
Correct.
Was it from Shadows? 1 Abrade, 2 Pyro, 2 Sudden Demise. It's another one.
Interesting. Must be for the Elves matchup where
1 Needle.
bad.
Yeah, 1 Needle, 2 Fork Bolt, 2 Blood Moon, and another Into the Roil.
Yeah, so
I kind of feel Into the Roil could be something better, but it gets any online permanent, which is pretty
it
good.
does.
And it draws your card.
Yeah. So Blood Moon's an interesting consideration here. I think Tim would realize that Mark probably doesn't run any basics.
He does not run any basics.
So Blood Moon could potentially be very valuable here.
He played Blood Moon against me with Nats, and it's absolutely devastating against this sort of deck.
But otherwise, Pyroblasts and Flusterstorms.
Yeah, I'd
are
bring
nice.
in probably a Forked Bolt.
The Fork Bolt seems good. Oh no, that's
Flusterstorm. That's the wrong list here.
Yeah,
definitely the 2 Pyroblasts.
The Braid seems fine.
The Braid is good.
Kills Deathrights and Delvers, but again, it's quite for 2 mana. It's not ideal, but
it's not ideal, but it's better than That's suddenly taking up 2 different threats in your sideboard, so it's a very versatile card.
Yeah, and I like the Fork Bolts and the Blood Moons here. So
definitely the Blood
taking
Moons.
out some Force of Wills. So we have both players have sideboarded.
Yeah, we're getting back to it now from the look of things.
Yeah, ready to get into game 2.
Alright. And I love that Games Lab playmat there.
It is. It's quite nice. So I wonder what art that is.
It's a custom piece, I believe. I've seen quite a lot of those playmats when I go down and play at the lab, but I'm not certain where they got it from. I think it's just one that they had commissioned themselves and had done. I don't like main phase Brainstorm turn 1.
I really don't like this, especially when you have a Delver in hand.
If you're playing Brainstorm turn 1, you've already lost this game.
I tend to agree with you here. I'm not sure if you have Delver and Stifle in hand. Why would you be brainstorming here?
Ever brainstorm there? If you need to sculpt a better hand straight away, then you shouldn't have kept that hand. And frankly, he didn't need to either. That was a good hand.
Well, that's the thing. I think his hand was fine there.
And now he's got.
And when you have the threat, I don't quite understand.
He's a turn behind on his Delver, and
yeah.
I mean, that polluted Delta can do the thing, and that's...
Yeah, and his Delver is not going to flip because he has a card that he wants to shuffle away with the Brainstorm.
Oh, it still might.
It still might flip. Anyway,
it's not guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed. He can't set it up this way. However, Tim's Delver does flip. And he has the Lightning Bolt for Mark's Delver here.
And he's got the Bolt with Daze Mana in hand.
Yes.
Daze Mana available.
Yes. So this will likely resolve. And interestingly, Mark fetched for a bad lens there when Stifle is in his hand.
Stifle is... yeah.
Very, very
Volcanic would have
place.
been a better one there.
Yeah.
I mean, he does need access to double black at some point in the game, but not at this point in the game.
No, not at this point.
Because he doesn't have the hymns, all he's got is the Tombstalker.
Yeah.
Which he's nowhere near casting.
So I guess he had a Volcanic in hand, which is why he got that, but...
there's the bolt.
Yeah. He could have still maybe fetched another Underground, possibly. But we have the Bolt to take care of Delver there. Mark left with 2 Stifles in hand, Wasteland and a Snapcaster Mage. So we see a Stifle here on the Flooded Strand. Let's see if Tim will fight over this. Looks like no. Ponder drawn by Mark. He sees 2 lands and a Pyroblast. Pyroblast, while being good, probably doesn't want the extra land there, as he still has a Wasteland in hand.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that.
Still can't get quite a good glimpse into Tim's hand yet. But we do see, I believe that's a fetch land in the first card. Delver drawn by Mark there. Quite good. However, he's again left with a Stifle in hand with no blue mana.
Yeah. No, Badlands was a bad choice. I'd say it was a bad land.
Get out.
Shit, I'm funny.
Dougal's already left.
I know, right? So someone has to carry on the legacy.
So we see a Flooded Strand there, and no Stifle mana available. We'll see a Snapcaster Mage here, likely getting the Lightning Bolt on the Delver Secrets.
Yeah, I like this bolt here.
Yeah.
And that's 2 Delvers down, is it?
Correct.
Yeah, it's 2 Delvers
That's
down.
2 Delvers down with the Bolt, Flashback Bolt.
And the only real other major threat he's running is the Tombstalker.
Correct. But no, they're still the Death Rights. Which is still a threat, but another land off the top, not ideal. He could Snapcaster Mage, Ponder, or maybe Brainstorm. So, deliberating on that right now. Got Tim there with quite a few cards in hand. Tim also with a Snapcaster Mage, another fetch land, and 2 unknowns. So Mark's casting a Ponder here, flashing back with Snapcaster Mage.
Flashback of the Snappy. Yeah.
See if he can find a threat here.
Brainstorm.
Brainstorm's pretty good.
That's not good, that game.
I believe that's a Fatal Push.
Fatal Push?
Yeah, and Force of Will. So, a couple of good cards there. Force of Will, not that great, but not bad either. It's not lands, which is what he really doesn't want.
Yeah.
So he's still holding on to the Wasteland, hoping Tim plays a Volcanic at some stage. We see the Fog Bolt at
Fog Bolt, so one at the snap, one at him probably?
Yeah.
Yep, that
So
resolves.
lets us through. The Snapcaster hits for 2. And Tim still has another Snapcaster Mage available. He might consider Snap Pondering here.
The Snap Ponder's not bad.
Yeah.
And Stifle.
But Stifle mana finally available.
We finally got use out of that Stifle, or those Stifles.
So
feels
now
bad. Feels bad if you need to Fatal Push a Snapcaster Mage, though.
it feels really bad. And it's interesting the
There it is.
sequencing of the cards he left on top. He has a Brainstorm as the next card, but he chose to draw the Fatal Push first. And by casting the Fatal Push, he doesn't have hard cast Force mana available now. So I would have been probably keen on just taking the 2 damage from Snapcaster Mage that turn and leaving up mana for Force of Will.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure of the reasoning there, but...
So now Tim will be able to resolve any of the spells he wants.
Isn't that Snap?
He goes for the Snapcaster Mage, he goes for that line of Ponder, flashes back Ponder, but cast the
Yeah.
Delver first, because he doesn't want Delver to be dazed. He
No,
doesn't mind
that's
if
good.
Ponder gets dazed.
I like that.
Yes,
That.
I certainly like that a lot.
And he's left, I think it was a Ponder on top?
I didn't quite see it, but you'd imagine he left an instant or sorcery on top.
He did.
Now Mark draws the
and
Brainstorm, and he goes off brainstorming.
It's a broken sleeve on Tim's side there.
Hmm.
Always carry
So
spare
the
sleeves,
Brainstorm.
kids.
Always. So he sees a Wasteland, not good here. A Delver and a Fetch Land. There's none of Delver's a decent card, but the others are quite bad. Did he put back 3 cards there?
I didn't actually see.
Didn't he have a Force of Will in hand when he cast Brainstorm?
Oh, yeah, I think you're right. We'll check that back on the footage later.
So Mark unfortunately put back 3 cards with a Brainstorm. Could be quite crucial, although I do think Tim is quite ahead at this stage.
You can tell that because he's hellbent after casting a Brainstorm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just from his mannerisms out, I think Mark knows it's over.
Yeah,
that's the shake. Yeah.
That's the handshake.
It's a bit of a disappointing end there, but...
It was. But decent match here. You know, we have...
It was an interesting watch.
Yeah, a Delver Mirror, but not quite your traditional
That's
Delver deck by Tim there.
Really not traditional Delver deck.
No.
It feels like the Delvers are in there as an afterthought. Just as a way to speed up your clock on a
And
control
speaking
deck.
to one of his friends at the event, he mentioned that Tim loved playing Blue-Red Control, but he found that he didn't quite have good enough clock against combo decks.
Okay, that makes sense.
Which is why the Delvers got put in.
No, that makes a whole lot of sense there because it's a Blue-Red control deck, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, Delver's just such a great, efficient threat.
It's such a good card.
Yeah. So you can see how Tim sideboarded here. He did bring in those Blood Moons.
That's a lot of sideboarding there.
Yeah, the Pyroblast and...
I just always found it funny looking back at over the old Innistrad set reviews how they were always saying Delver's a terrible card.
yeah.
Dice to Bolt, no, useless.
Yeah.
But they were definitely proven wrong in both Legacy and in Modern, of course.
Not so much in Modern, but it's certainly around, but it doesn't quite dominate as much as it does in Legacy and Vintage, where your spells are just so strong and you can afford to play a lot of them.
Well, that wraps up the Swiss here at the Legacy Nationals 2017 at Good Games Brisbane. We'll see you back for the top 8.
Yeah. See you guys soon.